So, welcome you to Four Saints Brewing Company. This is another video in the series of Our Beer, Their Words. And today we're here with Rich Powell, one of our good friends and supporters and all-around great guy who is an illustrator and a creator in his own right. And he has done a number of our beer labels, our Yoga Pants labels, our Impending Grace Imperial Stout labels. And we asked him to do a very special label recently for our Hefeweizen, with the renaming of it to be Hedrick's Hefeweizen. He's gonna. The Hedricks are our landlords, and they've been a big supporter of Four Saints Brewing Company. And recently, Bud Hedrick, the patriarch of the family, passed away, and so this label is in honor of Bud. And so Rich was his neighbor. And so he's going to tell us a little bit about what he knew of Bud and what made Bud so special, and then show us the label and tell us a little bit about it. So, Rich, tell us about Bud and how you got to know him.
Well, I met Bud when I first came to look at the house. He was actually blowing leaves out front of the house, and he waved at us, and we came in. Next thing you know, he was going with us on the tour of the house. And he talked to me the whole time, and. He was a very talkative guy, and I knew right then. I knew I liked the house when I saw it, and then I knew I liked that neighbor as well. So it was a bonus there.
Did he talk to you about anything in particular, or was he just?
He told us about the history of the house at the time, but of course, as soon as I moved in and I started talking to him, it was always mostly about World War II, his experiences in World War II. Yeah, he loved to talk about those.
He did love to talk about World War II. Very proud of his time.
Well, he had quite an interesting time there, yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason the name of the Hefeweizen after him is because of what he did in Germany.
Right.
You want to share that story?
Yeah, well, after D-Day and all that, as the war drew to a close, they would go from town to town trying to get things back together again. And one of the first things they would do was get the brewery going. So people had a place to gather, and
when he came in during our construction phase, he talked about that often, and you could see a sparkle in his eye, and then he'd retell that same story.
I heard that story a lot, yeah.
And his catchphrase was "Don't you know?" And
don't you know? Yeah.
So if you wouldn't mind sharing one of your fondest memories of Bud, other than maybe if it was the house where.
Well, Bud, he was a unique individual. When he was 95 maybe, he was starting to go blind. He started earlier, but he was getting pretty blind. But he would still be out there chopping wood, looking for persimmons at the end of the driveway so Mary could make the persimmon pudding. One day I heard the rattling of a ladder up against the house, and I looked over there. He was climbing up this ladder to go clean the gutters. I think he must have been 96.
Yeah.
He was just like going all the time. And then he and Mary and his wife were just salt of the earth. I mean, just the easiest people to go hang out and talk to, and just had, a love for life that they just didn't want to quit.
Yeah.
I remember he saw, one of his early memories was he saw Annie Oakley as she toured the country.
Really?
Yeah, he saw her in person.
That's wild.
Doing a trick shot show or something. Yeah.
Well, Rich, we like I said, we wanted to do a special can label for the next time with Hefeweizen coming out.
Right.
And so you were the logical and probably most sane choice to choose.
I don't know about that.
And you've got a copy of the label here, so you're going to kind of reveal it to the world. And if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your inspiration and how you came up with the label, and if there.
Well, it was a tight schedule.
Yeah.
Because Bud had passed. Mm-hmm. We wanted to have it done in time for his memorial that we had here at the brewery, which was really nice. The place was packed.
Yeah.
And
spoke a lot about Bud.
Yeah. So, this was the Hedrick's Auto building that was owned by his father, right? I think it was his father, yeah.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And it's in the Hedrick building, the Hedrick Arcade here.
Right.
So I wanted to showcase the building and the unique pattern of bricks on there, and that gave me a good basis to start with,
Yeah.
you know. And I wanted to have nice warm colors like the Hefeweizen itself. You know, I love the color of a Hefeweizen. It's like heaven.
Oh, look at that.
So what I did was I got some beer-looking elements, of course, to make it look like a beer label, but I recreated the front of the building, and they have this interesting glass work on the sides as well, that I could put some symbols in that mean certain things to his family. Basically, what I have is Bud coming to a party at the brewery here, and he's being met initially by a soldier and a ball player, because Bud played a lot of Legion. He was a very good baseball player back in the day, Legion ball. And of course, the bar's packed, and Bud's coming to a nice warm reunion back there. I put certain elements in here, sort of like Easter eggs from old computer games. In here, you'll find things like what I mentioned about chopping wood or looking at persimmons and things like that. You have to look around. I might have the name of the brewery for the breweries in Germany.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of little things hidden in there. It was a real fun project to do. Yeah.
That's just fantastic. From our standpoint, it certainly seemed like a labor of love. Just the attention to detail in there. A lot of those symbols and hidden pictures really show off who Bud was and what made Bud.
It was very easy to do because, first of all, because of the beautiful pattern on the front of the building. That was an easy base to begin with, and the tough part was getting Bud right. You know. You know, it really does look like Bud.
The little
cock to the head. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, he had a lot to do with us being here, and our skylights are open in the brew house because of Bud. He would we weren't going to open them up, but he would come in and just kind of stare up at them and go, it'd be nice if those skylights would be open again, don't you know? And finally, we gave in, and Brooks, his son, was like, okay, let's make it happen. And it was another one of those moments you could just see him just proud and happy to be able to say that he had a hand in bringing another brewery to life.
That's right. He really did.
Yeah.
That's true. I never thought about that. That's funny.
Yeah. So, Bud is certainly one of our saints, and we appreciate you using your talents to make that can come alive and to talk to us a little bit about Bud. So I think cans will come out on February 19th, so you can come out and grab a can and
Here's to Bud.
Here's to Bud.